So Happiness Laboratory starts out exactly like this. Happiness Laboratory, what color is your happiness? I was a bit taken aback because there is absolutely no sound in the beginning, but not to worry, the game is not crashed, it's not glitched. This is just how the game is supposed to be played. Greetings, dear guest. I thank you for fulfilling our company's search. This is going to be a journey. Oh my god. Greetings, dear guest. I thank you for fulfilling our company's search results. Depending on your feedback, this survey will only take a few minutes. We thank you for your participation. Welcome to Happiness Laboratory. Here we make all your happiest memories manifest. By experiencing happy feelings, your contribution to humanity will be increased, which is what we at Happiness Laboratory strive for, making the world a better place. Come the end of our exchange, you may feel dizzy or feel that something has been removed. Rest assured, that is normal. Our system is built to prioritize the comfort of all people. Our workers will do their best to achieve the highest results possible with you. Have faith in the process and enjoy yourself. With that out of the way, tell me, dear guest, which of these choices would you prefer to converse with of the ones available? Masculine, feminine, androgynous. Who would I rather have a conversation with? Let's do feminine. Excellent! We have just that sort of worker ready for you immediately then. Please enjoy your memories. Ooh, my memories. Oh! I love the art style for this character. The full color split right down the middle of the hair. The heart keychain on the side. The little cute tie in the middle. So cool. And can't forget the tiny little bunny emoji on the pen. So cute. Her name is Panko. Oh, you can see me now. Hiya, hiya. Hello? You there? I'm Panko, your guide through happiness. What's your name? You can call me Al. Huh? I can't hear your name. Sounds like static to me. How about Slate? Isn't it cute? Anyway, Slate, I'm sure you already know the reason you're here. Happiness Laboratory is an organization that brings happiness to its customers by reminding them of the positive things in life. Many people experience sickness, sadness, and anger. This is only natural, of course. It would be abnormal to live a life without suffering, after all. But sometimes happiness feels fleeting, so I and many other workers tirelessly strive to give their customer access to happiness again. We do this by stimulating your brain through completing questionnaires that elicit memories of departed days. You also get to talk to cute employees, so it's not as boring as filling out online surveys. You want to see happy memories again, right? Sure I do. And you wanted to see it with me? I'm so happy. This is a great memory for myself. One of the best ways to see happy memories is to visualize things you like. Our survey will begin with a simple but effective icebreaker. So, what's your favorite color? Mine's white. Well, that makes sense for the attire. I like green. Oh, green! A popularly discussed color. Quite controversial, in fact. So, why do you like it then? It's just nice. Oh, it makes me feel calm. What about it smells good? When I think of green, I think of how calming nature makes me feel, and seeing you makes me feel that way. Makes me feel healthier. I'm a go-getter and green's a go-getter. I love money. It makes me feel calm. They do say the color green has calming properties. Yeah, like eucalyptus and tea tree and cucumber. They say it's one of the easiest on the eyes due to how it combines warm and cold colors into something pleasing. That's why your books on this shelf are all green and brown. Aw. It's said to help relieve anxiety, depression, and other such things. Maybe we should all wear green clothes to feel happier? Sure. Well, that was a little nice insight into your mind. I'm beginning to see a glimpse at the type of person you are. All from the color I like? You're really interesting to me, you know? I don't think I've ever met someone so full of energy as you. Oh, thanks. I do hope you don't mind if I ask you some more questions to get to know you a little more. Sure. Sure! It can read my mind. Great. Well then. I was wondering, do you have anyone special? Like someone you love? Eek, sorry, was that too much? I'm just so curious. This isn't a love dating game, right? Yup. Yup. Oh, do they return your feelings? Probably. I wonder what they look like. Are they pretty? Very. Oh, my heart's pounding just thinking about it. Well then. With that out of the way, I have one final question to ask you, since I feel I've been asking you too many questions. What is the most important thing in your life? Wow, there are so many options. Nice. Nice. This is such, let's just do Panko. Panko's my most important thing. Me? Ah, that's very sweet of you, but I'm not sure if I can return such strong feelings immediately. That's okay. We did just meet today after all. But how about this? You'll never get the real answer out of me! I'll respond to your feelings in kind. I can't date you or anything since I'm very busy with my job though. Would you like to work with me? What? Well, how about it? No thanks. Did that surprise you? Honestly, I can't tell what you're saying. There's a bit of a filter between us. I just wanted to make you feel control for once. Aw. To be honest, you're not the first person that said this to me. I've worked this job for many years. Initially, I let people say whatever they wanted to say, and I'd listen intently. But after a while, I met many people that had many twisted thoughts, and I started using something my job had available instead, putting a filter that separates me from you. Well, for my own sanity. One of the past visitors here confessed his feelings for me. Oh, I would never do that. He'd always seek me out at this job even when there was no reason for him to be here. He was under the impression that I was the source of his happiness and that he can't be away from me. So he started working here. To be honest, he scares me, so I'm a little nervous. Panko. But maybe if I had a friend, he might calm down? Listen, I'm not sure what I said or did to make you this attached to me. Is this not your first time seeing me? I can't tell. All the visitors blend together after a while. I'm just trying to do my job. I really shouldn't have answered Panko. But I guess if you value me this much, you won't mind what we do to you? Whoa. Hello again. Are you doing okay? I cooked some chocolate croissants and thought you might like some. She's so blurry. Haha, yeah, I had a feeling you wouldn't talk back to me. You can just nod your head. You nod your head at Panko. You couldn't see what she looked like, but you recognize her voice. How long has it been now? 4 months? I hope the others aren't pushing you too hard. It'll be fine. Even if they are, it's all for the best. Yes, 4 months. For 4 months, you'd been working here as a test subject. I'm a test subject! Nice. The guy Panko mentioned before was also another test subject, but other than him, there weren't many. There's me. The Manic Xavier, as he's called, was just as strange as Panko said he was. Oh, he's got a collar. He had a noticeable lack of emotions on his face. This was the result of the experimentations he underwent. He'd get irritated easily, and often would get suppressed by the workers to calm him down. Whenever you had free time with him, he'd ramble about Panko to you. Oh, his eyes are like hearts. Chitta. His nails are like claws. You weren't sure if it was okay to mention you'd met her too, given his general disposition. To be honest, the fact Panko visited you so often with sweets made you scared of what he might do if he found out. Well, you look nervous. Is everything okay, Slate? Slate, that's not your real name. You were tired of being called that. It felt like you didn't even have the autonomy to name yourself. That makes sense why I couldn't name myself. It's because it adds to the story. The way she treated you felt like you were nothing but a pet. Though, with how everyone else here treated you, being treated like that was like a breath of fresh air. Xavier was being tested to see if emotions can be artificially infused into someone. You were an experiment on the subject of transmitting feelings to another, like a slate that can absorb and transfer emotions, hence the name. Your first 2 months filled with them drilling holes into your body and slamming things into the orifices they formed. Yummy. It was a very painful time, but what really got to you after 2 months was the mental strain of everything. They begin to think it would be more useful to use you as a conduit on other experiments, namely Xavier, since his experiments were all about injecting him with emotions to see what would happen. You were apparently a bright one, still able to experience joy and recognize the pain you were going through. Xavier, on the other hand, had a low output of emotions. Every attempt at extraction to fulfill the quota was futile, and the only way to know his general disposition was from the symbols his eyes would change to. Well, eyes are the window to the soul, of course, which is the most emotional place that we all hold. Yeah, he looks very X-emotion. Literally. Each day, Xavier would do nothing except for the things to you that would typically elicit an emotional response from someone to transfer the emotion onto you, and you would similarly do things to him. Oh, would I? Crying, physical altercations, whatever the overseers thought would produce an emotion. But each test only showed you being able to produce any significant results. They were beginning to debate transferring you to another testing department, though apparently they will foil with a current experiment, and were waiting to see the results before moving you around departments. One time last month, you tried to leave after an especially traumatizing experiment with Xavier, but the attempt was quickly dashed. They were still suspicious of you, and did not want to let you wander around too much. You snapped back to reality, realizing Penko had asked you if you were okay. You nodded your head, and she flashed a bright smile at you. As if you were her pet cat or something, she gently patted your head and gave you a bottle of milk to take with the sweets she gave you. Just a bit longer, and you'll be transferred to another department. I'm being transferred to the renewal department. When I do, you'll come with me. I just need to clear another day of work, and then the transfer will go through. Penko said a lot of work, but in this dimension, a day for her was more like a week. A single work session was an hour to her, but to you, it was an average 7 hours. Each worker worked for 23 hours, so when her day of work was done, it would be a week most likely. That's not how hours work. 23 hours for 1 week? Oh wow. Maybe they mean like each day is 7 hours, and so each worker needs to work 23 hours in a week? Or something? Yeah. There's always was a chance that she would come across someone that won't wake up. Then who knows what the day will be over. Oh, speaking of, I've gotta head out now before I get penalized. Take care, Slate. I know it's difficult, but put up with it for me, okay? You nod. After a moment, you tear into the chocolate croissant she gave you. It was all she ever gave you, and to be honest, you were starting to get sick of it. But at least you had someone that still cared about you. Penko was always busy, so the fact she ever risked taking the time to make something for you in the first place was sweet. After a moment of savoring the sweet cacao, you hear someone yelling at you, followed by them grabbing you by the scuff of your shirt. Cacao's another word for chocolate. It was Xavier. He saw you talking to Penko. Stepanko! You try to dissuade him, but it only makes him hit you against the wall. He connected the dots that you had to have become a test subject for her. After a moment of arguments, an overseer entered the room, glaring at the two of you. After it saw you both quiet down, it left the room. You think everything is over and that he'd leave, but Xavier still stayed in the room, mumbling something to himself for what felt like hours before he left. The next day, you were assigned to test another slate transfer with Xavier. Today, the test was to transfer from Xavier onto you, and then you onto Xavier. There were less instructions this time, as it was another repeat of a past experiment that involved him beating you. You had a feeling the shouting match you had with him got reported. Reported? Flashbang! The two of you get locked into a white room and left alone with no one intervening. And they really meant no one could intervene. There were other experiments with him where you both did not want to do what you were ordered to do, and they would leave you there for days. After starving for a bit and realizing help would never come, the two of you decided to do what was ordered. They figured that if you wanted to do things less, then that meant more of an emotional response would be recorded. There was even a time Xavier almost beat you to death, and no one came to save you. He just got tired of beating you up, and the experiment was considered another failure. That's crazy. Xavier immediately got to work. This time there was no hesitation in following orders, as he slammed you into the wall, punching you in the gut and then in the mouth. You wondered if he would stop this time. A feeling in the pit of your stomach told you that he wouldn't until you were dead. He kicks you in the ass, pushing you down on the floor, and whittles away at your head with punches. You couldn't fight back until you were given the go-ahead by the overseers. Otherwise, you'd be injected again. Your vision blurs after a while. How long had he been beating on you? An hour? 2? You could hear his wheezing on your face as he looked at you with his crazed eyes. The X's in his eyes were the worst eyes to see on him. You hate it when he had that look in his eyes. That was probably the way he expressed his hatred. Yeah, I kind of imagine that that's what the X's were for. Rip, ripperoni. Yep, rip. That's a lot of blood. Perceived blood. Could just be a fun paint stain on the wall. I also like how quiet it got. Oh, slash. Drip, drip, drip. It felt like time had stopped. Your hands began shaking as your fight or flight instincts were kicking in. Wow! They did the pink blood thing. Oh man. Oh, that's great. You had to suppress those feelings. You had to let him do whatever he wanted to do to you. But that was a knife. That was to your chest. He had drawn blood in previous experiments, but never this much, and he didn't stop. He kept plunging the knife into your chest over and over, over and over, over and over. It says it 3 times, I read it 3 times. You prayed that if a god really existed, they'd save you from this hell. There was no god in this dimension between waking and asleep. Just dreams or nightmares. And this was one you felt you'd never be able to wake up from. Could hear him laughing. The light pink on his skin flared up while your pink pale blood splattered all over his shirt. He had been counting each stab like it was a game to him. You didn't want to hear how many times you'd been stabbed. You wanted to just dissociate from everything. Once he announced another milestone in stabs, he spat on you like you were dirt on the side of the road. Laborers soon entered the cubicle along with some janitors. You couldn't feel anything after that. The transfer was successful. Though with a subject that inspired so much hatred in him dead, who knows how long that will last. Bad ending. Lab of friendship. What? Okay, so that was an ending I could get? That is actually kind of nuts. Okay, that has to be because I picked a panko for the thing I like the most. If I changed up what I like the most, I could get a different ending. So I'm curious to see where else this game is going to lead. And if you're curious about where this game goes, feel free to check it out. It's on itch.io. The link is in the description down below. And also, like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel, because it helps out a lot. Okay, well, have a good one. See ya! And make one for me. Oh, I'm like a child, dude. They're like putting images next to the word, and it's now making sense. Like, I was just calling those balls. I did try to go over and catch a lily frog, and there's one particular... Hi, Choco Cat. There's one particular area where the lily frog sits. However,